There's plenty of gun players tomorrow as well, and we feel like we may see some changes there. We have to, and the change I mean is that Bengaluru has to get those 2 points, because it's anyway looking like kind of bye-bye birdie for them. One more loss, when you look at that points table again, one more loss, and I mean one more loss is printing your boarding pass, right? At halfway stage, you have just one win. That's just print your boarding pass and choose your seat, because that's pretty much the tournament over. So you'd like to see that tomorrow. We saw one change happen in the last one. Again, we predicted that one. Will Jacks coming in. Couldn't predict which of the three he would replace, because he had to replace either the captain or retention number 2 or the 16 crore trade. Eventually, they went for the 16 crore trade, probably because he's the junior most, I guess, the newest member. Wrong call at Wankhede, a place where he had played, and that hit the deck would have probably worked out well. But what do they do tomorrow? We've been talking from the first or second game that they need 2 foreign bowlers because their Indian bowling is struggling. Sorry, carry on. So if they get the 2 foreign bowlers, if they get Loki in, they want the pace, they get Loki in, that means they only play 2 foreign batters. Now you're choosing 2 from 4. All the best with that, Gilly. Go ahead.
Yeah, I sense they might. Also, too, adding to the equation, Glenn Maxwell took a really bad knock on the finger, dropped a really hot chance at backward point the other night here at Wankhede. So I'm not sure whether there's any news, whether that's damaged or not, but I suspect that they might give Maxi a spell and try to get Lockie in. I feel like maybe it went in his favour, just being that little bit more experienced in the last selection. And he's certainly, I guess, just the way he played that one, didn't look like he's watching the ball closely. Maybe you're just not focusing or not quite switched on. So who knows? He's done this before, Maxie, hasn't he? He goes through patches and had bad IPLs, and he's had player of the tournament IPLs as well. So you've always got to take the good with the bad with such an exciting talent like Glenn Maxwell. It's always been a roller coaster ride, but time is they've got to make a hard call.
It's really strange because Glenn Maxwell can be an F1 car cruising down the straight at 400 kilometers an hour, and on that day, like the previous, it looks like the engine's running and no one's behind the wheel, right? So it's bizarre what the spectrum that operates in.
A bit like I mentioned, I think earlier with Marcus Stoinis, he can be a frustrating cricketer to watch because you know the talent. You know that he just oozes talent, and you see him play some extraordinary innings. But it's just sometimes I don't think he gives himself enough opportunity, as in has a look for 4 or 5 balls. Because he's always going to up his strike rate. If he stays for 20 balls, his strike rate's going to improve immensely.
It'll be 200 for sure.
But I just wonder sometimes whether he gives himself a little bit of time, enough time to just assess the situation, ease himself into his innings, because there's no doubt when he gets going, he's so difficult to stop and so difficult to bowl to, and there's no boundary in the world big enough. And I guess that's just some of the frustration at times when you watch Maxwell, because you know the talent, you know how good a player he is, and you love watching him. He's box office, he really is. But when you're going through a bad trot and you sort of swing and miss at a couple, and then all of a sudden you get bowled or you sky one, and things just aren't going your way, you maybe just try a little bit too hard. And it's just not coming off. So
I wouldn't be surprised if he's dropped. Left out, whatever terminology you want. But
they'll say that they'll say he's not 100%.
Right? No. Well, maybe or maybe not. But SRH will breathe a slight sigh of relief if his name's not on the team sheet, even in the little trough that he's in.
Good point.
As an opponent, it's a bit like the Warner factor, or a bit like so many players you could name. You go, glad he's not on the team sheet.
I mean, his captain is captaining Hyderabad. Like Pat Cummins is captaining Hyderabad. Pat Cummins will directly, and he'll probably tell you that one standing on one leg 200 scored down the road at Wankhede is what kept Australia in the World Cup.
Exactly.
Afghanistan could have pretty much knocked them out, right? So he's kept them in the World Cup, and then which they've gone on to win, which apparently happened on a date that I don't remember. But anyway, he's not there. The good thing, of course, is that Faf got runs in the previous game, right? So Faf's got runs.
I wonder if they might make 2 changes. If they do that, if that's the case, and they bring Lockie Ferguson in, I wonder whether they want to bolster their batting a touch and leave Reece Topley out and bring Tom Curran in. just to give them a bowling option who bats.
Okay.
As well, because it makes that batting order look a little thinner.
Okay.
With no Green and no Maxwell, it just looks a little thinner through the middle. So I wonder whether, I mean, Topley hasn't been bad. I'm not saying he's been bad. I think he's been decent for them. But I wonder whether they need a little bit of cover in the batting side of the all-round.
My only question to that is that their batting down the middle in the end has not been a problem.
No.
So that's why they've got Lomror and DK to do that job.
Yeah.
So do they want Tom Curran over there, or do they just want to say, we'll play Will Jackson, Faf.
Yeah.
They've got the Indian batting. Let's just push everybody up, and everybody gets a chance. And sort of Chauhan plays as well, and Lomror starts, and maybe get Anuj Rawat back in, and get our two bowlers, and with Akashdeep and Siraj, who then have to do more.
And go from there.
They've got. It's just that the 11's not coming together on form, which is the frustrating thing with Bangalore every time. You feel like great squad and confused 11, or maybe not the right combination, which is optimizing their talent. Anyway, we start talking about RCB and we can go on, so we'll do that. We'll do that because, I mean, a team that's won, 1 in 6, right? 1 in 6 with that kind of talent on display. Yes, it can be fairly confusing and frustrating for the fans. But on the other side, this Hyderabad team is looking good. They've got a captain. They plucked a captain out of thin air themselves. But it's working out for them well. There have been some impressive performances there, which we didn't see coming. I think here, Nitish Kumar Reddy didn't see that coming. A lot of people did. And Abhishek Sharma has been in really good form. So for them, that has worked out. Do you see any changes happening, Dooley? I doubt it.
Well, I mean, they had a bit of a shocker last time bringing Tripathi in as their impact player. I thought it was a mistake. If he doesn't open the batting when he plays, then he just doesn't play. He's not a great starter against spin. He needs to face that brand new ball with a bit of pace on, otherwise he just struggles to get going and doesn't add any impact to them. So they didn't use their resources, which they still had a couple of resources left. Yeah. And they brought him in as an impact sub. So I wouldn't expect him to be part of the setup tomorrow.
Of course, the question is, what kind of surface are you seeing at the Chinnaswamy tomorrow? That's where it's happening, right? The game's happening in Bengaluru. So what kind of surface do you see? Do you see the Bangalore of old, or do you see this current pitch that they have? You know which one I like. Players to watch out for from each team. Gilly, let's go with you with Bangalore first.
Bangalore, Virat.
Nice call. I like it.
A young player on the rise, he is. But he's feeling pretty good about himself, I think, and he'll enjoy being back there.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, a couple of players, but Lomror, I'm looking forward to actually getting a decent run and a good crack. And I just hope Will Jacks is better for the run, because he's a terrific player, real talent.
Okay.
So I hope he's better for the run and just sort of,
great,
eases the nerves a little bit.
Super. And for Hyderabad?
Hyderabad, who are we thinking about there?
Can't say Klaasen.
Abhishek.
Not allowed to say Klaasen.
His
name's off.
Yeah. Abhishek's been brilliant.
Good shout.
So, we'll look for him to continue his form.
For you, Gilly?
I'm funnily enough going to go with an opening bat left-hander.
Funny that.
Let me guess.
Funny that.
So in this case, it's the heart and the head.
Correct.
That you're going with.
I'm looking forward to watching him go.